Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Good evening, everybody. This is the City Advertising and Promotion Commission regular meeting. It's February 25th, 2026. I'd like to remind everybody, please, to make sure your pagers and cell phones are turned to silent. Welcome. Glad you're all here. It's nice seeing faces out in the audience. Heather, if you would, could you go ahead and do a roll call, please?
Yes. David Avanzino.
Here.
Susan Greening.
Here.
Heather Wilson, present. Colin Scribner. Scribner.
Present.
Shira Faust.
Here.
Robert Schmidt.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Do we have any updates anybody would like to add to the agenda? Yes.
I would like to add a discussion of the special event banner placement that's done at Spring and Main.
We'll make that new business C. Do we need to vote on adding that to the agenda? Would anyone like, does that count as a motion? Would
If you want us to vote, we can. I don't think it's necessary. I don't know.
You don't think?
Let's go ahead and do it, just
As
since we're
amended.
adding.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to add banner placement for special events at the intersection of Spring and Main.
Second.
Okay. David Avanzito made a motion to add, to discuss special banner placement, and Colton seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Okay. Did everybody receive the minutes from the January meeting? Yes.
Motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Oh, thank you. David made a motion. Robert seconded that motion to approve the agenda as it stands. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Okay, did everybody receive the minutes that Danielle put out from the January meeting? Can we get an approval on those minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes from January.
Second.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the motion carries. Robert made the motion, David seconded, and the motion carried. Okay. Public comments. Does anyone have public comments this evening? We've got a good public out here, but it looks like they're all here for funding fund. Okay, so moving on forward then. Okay, financial report, please, Ty.
Okay, first we'll look at the balance sheet. There's $1,510,000 in the banks as of January 31st. Liabilities and equity to match on page 2. Third page is the P&L. Actual collections for January, $124,000 with a budget of $110,000. On the next page shows the total expenditures of $279,000 with a budget of $309,000. So our budgeted net income of $194,000, actual $150,000 negative. So we did a little bit better than we planned in January. It's just collections are less and expenses are more in January, so that evens out. That's what the budget is for January. Does anyone have any questions on the balance sheet or P&L? Yes.
Quick question, yeah, on the income situation. The increase or over budget what we have, does it have to do with late collections from late businesses?
Yeah, it's just, what was collected in January. It could have been for multiple months prior.
Right, but did we have some significant payments for that period?
No, not significant. So it was just more collected in January.
Okay.
Than we anticipated. The next chart shows the actual tax collected by month. As of we go through a month behind because we're still collecting for January. So as of December, total collections were $2,058,000 compared to last year of $2,056,000. So a little bit better we ended up, so it was good. The next page shows those collections for just lodging, broken out by category. And as you can see, the lodging was about 22,000 under last year's. This year was 927,000 compared to 950,000 last year. And the next page shows the food collections broken out by category. And it was about 24,000 better than last year for food. 1,130,000 in 25, 1,106,000 in 24. Does anyone have any questions?
So Ty, I have a question for you. Or does somebody have their hand up? Go ahead. Okay. So in listening to what you're saying, as far as collections go, lodging is absolutely down.
Yes,
We can say that citywide.
yes,
It appears that food is up
yes.
by how much?
About 22, 24. Lodging was down about 22. Food was up about 24 for a net income increase of about 2,000.
Okay, and what I'm going to say on the flip side of that is we just had city council on Monday where we were presented the tax remittances overall for the city. Retail is up by 32%. 32%,
That's great.
which is phenomenal. I'm glad they're doing it. But we're at a crossroads, I believe, and this will be probably a workshop and another discussion where we need to revisit collecting taxes on retail establishments. Because the way I see it, this is only me speaking, I'm not speaking for anyone else. The way I see it is that we are placing the burden of collecting this tax and passing it on for people who are not, we're not putting heads in beds. So let's say for the restaurant industry in town, we're collecting all this money, that people aren't staying, they're not renting beds, but they're spending all their money in retail. Fantastic, I'm so glad they're doing good. However, if we're going to continue to advertise this city for all of the businesses in this city, then all of those businesses need to be equitably represented.
Tax-wise.
Tax-wise. And so I'm going to put that out there to all of you that this will be coming again soon, because I firmly believe that we need to revisit this. I mean, it's obvious with retail being up 32% and lodging down and restaurant barely swimming. I don't think that's a good mix for tourism in this town.
Especially when you think that we have increasing prices.
Yes.
You know, the scissor opens up even more. I mean, the lodging is down with higher prices, which clearly indicates you have less nights occupied. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. And that tax money is, of course, collected from the person paying for those goods or services. And so we're just remitting that back to the state or the CAPC or whatever organization. So as a reminder, does not put, I think, our retailers in a position of feeling like they're having to give up more of their own monies.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point, Shura, that, you know, from what I understand, this used to be like a 2 and 2%. Is that correct, Mike? Okay. They got rid of the 2% from retail, added an additional percent to lodging and restaurants. So now we're responsible for 3%. And I forgot where I was going with this.
It's not equitable.
Yeah, it's not equitable. We are having to raise prices, as Robert said. We are, I think, long-term, we are diminishing our capacity to sell ourselves to tourists because we are having to raise prices to offset taxes, tariffs, whatever you want to say. We're having to raise our prices. Say that? Say again?
Oh, I just said the cost of inflation.
Oh, yeah, inflation, all these things. And I get a little, I don't want to say upset because that's not the word for it, but I have to stop and think, especially when people come to us asking for money to put on events, when those events aren't putting heads in beds, what are we doing? We're just throwing money away for an event that is not putting heads in beds, that is for locals. I absolutely agree we should be spending money on locals, but as to what extent?
Yes.
This is endemic to the things we've looked at for a while on the proliferation of Airbnbs and VRBOs outside the city limits. We know that there are well over 1,700 units. We know that a unit sitting outside the city limits will go ahead and help retail and will help restaurants. They come to town, they shop, they eat. They go back out and they'll spend a night, and they could have a house of 6 people, a house of 12 people, and yet they are not what we consider a collector at that point, only from the standpoint of the food that they eat and the retail that they spend money on. So when you have more rooms, of which we know there's 1,700 thereabout properties in Carroll County, which include the Airbnbs and the VRBOs and the Booking.coms and the other types of OTA agencies out there, we are losing money rapidly. And I can tell you from Governor's Conference, this is across the board, David. Every community is facing basically the same situation. I'm going to dig a little deeper into something else here in a few minutes, but this is a question I think that is certainly worthy of discussion.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring
You
it up
and I think it's a good
as
point.
just
Yeah.
an icebreaker, is that we have to have the discussion. If we don't,
Right.
then things are going to get really, really bad.
So can we go ahead and make a workshop to talk about this further? Is that,
Well, I'm going to go ahead and, before I answer that question, I would put that in the hands of our 2 city council people. Is the city council interested in pursuing this venue? Because it ultimately will be a referendum of the people to add an additional tax. And whether or not it's promulgated by the CAPC or whether it comes directly from the people to the council is a question I don't know if we can answer that question or not.
I can, because I had the conversation with the city attorney.
Okay.
And she said to me that it has to go in front of CAPC first.
Okay.
So we've got to make that decision before we take it to city council.
That'd be fine. Sure.
okay, so can we go ahead then and make March's workshop about discussing that
What's the
further?
date of that March workshop? Do we have it yet?
Be the 15th. Let me look.
Oh, I can join via Zoom, because that'll be 3 days after my surgery, or 1 day after no, 1 day before.
We can put you
The
in the
11th?
hospital.
Okay.
The 11th.
Okay.
It's the 11th.
When is it?
Why
May
are you in the
11th?
hospital?
March 11th.
March 11th.
I'll be out of town, but I could join
Via-
by Zoom.
okay.
Zoom, I think, yeah. Does the state statute allow you to collect, are we talking about an AMP tax on retail goods, right?
Yes, AMP.
Does the state statute allow you to collect AMP tax?
That's up to the city. Now, again, it's a city referendum that makes that decision. It was active, I think, up until 2007. I want to go back in my mental history notes of when we did collect 2% tax on retail. And then I think it went away in 2007 or around that time period. I'd have to go back and take a look at the history of it. But once
Okay.
upon a time, the city did collect 2% on retail.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to add, Shira, if you don't mind, I've been an avid proponent of increasing our budget for events every single year by thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So yes, I want to see that continue, but I also want to make sure that it's fair to everyone involved. All businesses across the board. I don't want to see anyone in this town fail, go under, or whatever, but we're starting to see that.
But again, I think it is really important for our whole community to understand that taxes are remitted by the person paying for the goods or services. This is not coming out of our pockets. And people who are there spending money are okay with paying taxes for what they want, and we just have to remit those forward. So I just want to remind everybody, this is not coming out of your pocket. Okay? Can we move on to the next then?
Well, the next sheet is the past dues.
Next sheet is what, Ty?
The
Past
past
due.
due.
Okay, yeah, so another conversation. I said last time I would bring this up to our city attorney, and I did. My question for Ty and Mike is, are we issuing what's called a certificate of indebtedness to these businesses? I'll take that as a no. Because what she says, according to Arkansas state law, we can do everything that we're asking the city to do by pulling a license, we can do ourselves. If we issue a certificate of indebtedness and they don't follow that, then we can shut them down, according to our city attorney. I can forward all of this to or I'll send it to Danielle, and then Danielle can distribute to everybody else. It's a very lengthy email. Bottom line is, it appears that we can do this all ourselves without having to get the city involved.
Are you talking about just the CAPC license or the whole business license?
Well, what we had discussed was not only pulling a CAPC license, but pulling their business license, which only the city can do. So I approached our attorney, Heather, on what that process would look like, and this is the response that I got back.
So we would have the power to pull the business license.
Let me get to what she says here.
Is there a process to follow?
There is a
to
process.
issue
We're
the
doing everything
certificate?
up to that point.
Okay,
They are doing everything that they need to be doing.
until we get to the certificate
Yes.
of indebtedness.
Yes. So enforcement of the certificate of indebtedness, a certificate, or COI, may be enforced through a writ of execution, which is a court order directing the seizure of non-exempt property to satisfy the judgment. Eureka Springs Ordinance 2.60.180 provides two methods for executing the writ. Writ issued to CAPC, which authorizes the CAPC to levy on real or personal property, including business equipment, vehicles, accounts receivables, and bank accounts, sell seized property, and apply the proceeds toward the judgment. The writ issued to the sheriff authorizes the Carroll County Sheriff's Department to perform the levy and conduct any required sale. And then there are additional tools like judgment of lien on real property, personal property, blah, 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 blah. So I'll send that to you, Mike, so
Please.
that you and Ty can look at it more in depth.
Okay.
Heather, I'm sure Heather will talk to you. I don't see
That'd be good.
why she can't.
No, she
Yeah,
certainly
Heather.
can, and I
Other
would
Heather.
appreciate that.
Heather.
That is a new certificate I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
It may be contained within a more recent version of the code that I've not seen or maybe just not been privy to at this time.
Yeah.
This also leads into my next, when we get to my little point right here, we'll talk about that in just a moment.
Yeah, and I want the commission to know that when I see this past due collectors list, it's sort of, my frustration just kind of ramps up month after month after month when I see these people on the same list. And, you know, these four have been on the list under pursuing legal action for a very long time. And we cannot be complacent, because I have a feeling that these businesses are just kind of simply saying, I don't care, do what you want to me, I can get away with it. And I think that's what's going on here, honestly. And also under may require further action, that business there.
They did contact me today, so we're,
They did.
yes.
Fabulous.
I mean, are you?
Which number was that you were counting?
Under may require further action.
Oh, good,
I said that they contacted him today.
good.
Ty, are you able to elaborate a little bit on the four last cases? I mean, not naming, of course, but I'm assuming those have what the legal actions are going, but are there court dates set already, or?
We filed against number one. It's in the hands of the Carroll County Court right now. Number two was sent a notice today that they would be losing their ABC permit if they don't file by the 12th of March. The Second one was a conversation that I had personally with them about a week ago, similar action, that we would come after them. I actually paid them a visit and then called the next day and talked to the manager, owner, and gave them the information they needed to know and the process of which we would go ahead and collect from them. Actually, I take that back. That's number 4. Number 5, I don't know what that status is in number 5, right? Or number 1, 2, 3. I don't know what the status is in number 3.
Okay.
So I have a question. There are 9 lodging facilities on this list. I realize that lodging has been down, but year over year for lodging, let me look, I think it was $27,000 delta, $23,000 delta. 9 on the list. Is any of that, or any of those $23,000 influenced by those 9 not collecting? Because some of them have been on the list a long time.
Yes. The ones that have older liabilities, yes, that would go back into the previous year.
But we don't even know what those liabilities are, do we? Because they haven't reported.
Correct. On most of them. On some we do, like on the bottom section, number 2, I know of a balance that they owe, because I will try to get, if they're past due, I'll try to get them to go ahead and file, and then we work out payment, and so I'll at least know what is owed.
So can you, Ty, and I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm going to ask this question without telling us who it is, what is the general amount owed that they are behind?
Well, that was mostly collected last year, and that's why the collections were up a little bit, because we collected a lot of past dues last year. So most of the past dues on here, I do not know what they owe.
I'm sorry.
He does not know.
I don't know what that balance is.
So who knows the amount of money that we are not being paid, is my question.
Well, we'd have, if they don't file and we have to pursue action, we'll have to do I'll have to look back at their history and assess the taxes and send them a letter. This is what you owe per assessment. So that has not been done yet.
So, yeah, we would need a projection on that.
I have a question. So I do know of one that they're under, I understand there's sometimes things happen, circumstances happen. David has said it, we've all said it. This is not their money. It is a pass-through. What is the reason? Are they giving a reason for taking taxpayer money and not remitting it?
No reason, just not paying.
I would assume it's a cash flow problem. But nonetheless, I mean, the amount is owed and should be
Right.
paid on time.
Yeah.
But I guess like Ty said, as long as we don't have a reporting, the only way to estimate it, and that's a very dangerous path to go, would go back in history and see what did they report it last January, for example,
Well-
and then estimate. But you could be completely wrong about it, so
Yeah.
it's really
Also-
hard to tell.
I think folks know in these industries, I hope they know, that it's your responsibility to follow up as well. If you have an issue, if something stands in the way of your ability to remit taxes, if you have a health issue or a need or something goes on, that easily you can reach out to the city or the CAPC or whomever you need to reach out to. And so it doesn't really matter the matter. This is your responsibility as a business owner.
Yeah, and Ty and Michael and Danielle, Danielle, I do want to applaud you guys for all that you do to try to collect these monies and bring these guys back up to date. It just gets exhausting seeing the same businesses, and it's kind of like a FU when they just don't reply and they don't pay their taxes, they don't report, and like Heather and Shira said, when Robert makes a comment that they may have cash flow issues, I get it. We all have cash flow issues.
That's right.
But the bottom line is you collected a state tax. and you have defrauded the government by using those monies to pay for other bills. You can't do that. And we are allowing them to do this. We are enabling these people to get away with this kind of practices that we should not be doing. I mean, I hate writing that check every month just as much as anybody else at this table, but I have to do it. Number one, it's not my money. Number two, I'm required by law to do it.
That's right.
I have a question. Do we know for sure that, so like some of these businesses have not been around very long? Do we know for sure that they've been actually charging that CAPC tax and collecting it, or they've just failed to charge it and then have not remitted it because they failed to charge it?
It's a good question. When they get a business license and they are in the food preparation business or the lodging business, step number 2 is to get a CAPC permit.
Right.
They get the permit, and at the same time, they also get the rules and regs that come with that permit. So ignorance is really no excuse.
Well, no, yeah, I'm not saying ignorance is an excuse because
but in this particular case,
wanted another
I can
process.
say for a fact that we've got 1, 2, 3. These people have been around, even to the extent that the 4th one on this list
Yeah.
is also in another city that has a business,
That has an
and they are paying
tax.
tax in that
Yeah.
city. And I
just
can't
wondering
tell
if
you-
they've not been collecting it.
Yeah.
And so
You
in
know,
their
the-
mind, they're thinking, oh, well, I haven't collected it, so I don't actually have anything to owe.
One of the best lines that I heard in a long time was one of our former commissioners said, I collect the tax, I put it in a separate account, I draw money on it, then when it's time to pay, I take it out of that money market account. I earn interest on the money I collect.
Yeah, smart.
And he looks at it, or he always looked at it as, I am collecting the money from the public. It's not my money, it never was. And I think it was a great example of, being a steward, really, of what you should do.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely don't think ignorance is an excuse because, as you mentioned, you have to get that license. But I'm just wondering if that's what's going through their heads, that they didn't actually collect it.
David may be right when he said some of them are just indignant.
Yeah, some of these have been around long enough to know better.
If you go into the lodging part, most of those businesses have a website. And you could just
You could see
go
if they
through
charge
a
it.
reservation
Yeah.
and just look if they would charge it.
Yeah.
And yeah, those businesses are too long in business, they know it. But I do remember your question is absolutely legit, that we had in the past, like 10 years ago when I was a commissioner before, 12 years ago, we had businesses, they did not collect it the proper amount because they were just, we probably 12%, and then the finance director had to go and teach them how much you have to charge actually.
Yeah.
Any other questions on that
Sorry to drag that
or
out.
comments?
Okay.
Need a motion to approve.
All right.
Motion to approve the financials as presented.
Second.
David made a motion. Susan seconded that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes. Okay. Mr. Tourism Director, how about some interesting, fun tourist updates?
Well, we just came back literally this morning from Governor's Conference on Tourism and Outdoor Recreation in Little Rock since Sunday. And I'm not going to go into the full Monty of this thing because we've got a lot of people out here that want to get through the evening. And we could be here for a long time with what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to try to abbreviate this a little bit so you'll understand what is happening or what potentially is happening. It falls into this conversation we've just had. Airbnb, which is owned by a corporation called Wayfair, took a court case to a Supreme Court in a particular state. I can't tell you the state because I don't know. But what it amounted to was they are requesting from the state of Arkansas that Airbnbs do not remit to the local municipality or A&P or CVB, but rather they remit only to the Department of Finance and Administration. In other words, the DFA. This is similar to sales tax. Sales taxes are remitted to the DFA. This would include short-term rentals, and I think if you look at the screen, it says the motivation, Airbnb's aim to simplify tax collection for its operators and believes DFNA could collect more efficiently, leveraging its sales tax enforcement capabilities. If you don't pay your state sales tax, DFA will come and shut your business down. The argument by some of what may be Arkansas legislators is that this is a good thing. The DFNA fee would charge approximately 3% for a tax collection. So if it was $1,000 owed, they'd take 3% of it before they would remit it back to the A&P or the CVB or the local municipality thereof. Now, this went on for quite a while the other day. You can well imagine with a room of about 25 people from all over the state of Arkansas, we're not very happy about this. This was a presentation being made by the Arkansas Municipal League to the organization that we belong to, which is the Arkansas Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus, of which I just happen to be the secretary. We are members of the AACVB. AACVB is a lobbying organization for people within A&Ps and CVBs to protect ourselves or advance our efforts to the Arkansas legislature. That's all we do. We don't do really anything else. On the same token, that's a fairly important task right now because there have been all kinds of things that have come up in the past that the AACVB has been part and partial to, such as bathroom bills, et cetera, et cetera. So we do have a very strong lobbyist that we pay, and he works in favor of our organizations. The individual from the Municipal League was not there as either pro or con, but rather as neutral as he possibly could be. Had it been the attorney representing the Airbnbs, he probably would have not made it out of the room alive. I can tell you that. The local opposition, here's a double-edged sword. One of the things I brought up, if it's Airbnb today, tomorrow it could be VRBO, the next day Booking.com, then all of a sudden all of the taxes that would be collected locally would be collected by the DFNA, and then they would remit back to the municipality. There's just a lot of stuff here, and I really hesitate to get too deep into the weeds with this right now because it is new. It's something that we all woke up to, I guess, yesterday, the day before? And at this point, one of our partners at Bentonville, at Visit Bentonville, is going to take it upon basically herself as actually a Parks and Tourism Commissioner to go ahead and compile the data to try to find out exactly where do we go. The logical step is thus and so. This is a maintenance situation of the Arkansas legislature. So in other words, we can talk about this all day if we want to. We'll never get anywhere, but until we bring in our senator, our state representative to talk about this and express either our sentiment or our displeasure with it, it really doesn't go anywhere other than the newspaper. And that's as far as it will get at this point, because we as a body in our CAPC can't make that decision as to what's going to happen to it. It doesn't make a difference. But know this, Airbnb is big. They operate all over the world. They were the ones that initially came into the state of Arkansas not too very long ago and were attempting to go ahead and shut down the STR opportunities, basically to go ahead and just basically say, run amok, do what you want to. You don't have to comply with city law. You don't have to put smoke detectors in your house. You don't have to do anything. Just operate and just have fun. Fortunately, they did make it out of committee. But in this particular case, I fear, and so do many of my colleagues at the AACVB, that this is more than just something that will maybe not make it out of committee. It probably has a very good chance of going quite a ways into the government. Now, how do we think that the tourism community, in terms of our state government, is reacting to this? Don't know. But our tourism director, Delaney Thomas, was there the other day. She did not speak in reference to it, but I can tell you the Arkansas Hospitality Association is not thrilled about this. They are very, very uncomfortable with this. In fact, this is something the AHA would lobby certainly against.
Can I stop you? Guys, what is that?
It's a speaker feedback.
Well, I know it's a speaker, but
Yeah.
can we stop it?
Where is he at? Is Avery back there?
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, point taken. What we're trying to do at this point is figure out what it is that we as an association can do to go ahead and bring this effort to our lobbyist. Where do we start? Well, we start, Heather, at the polls, literally. And this is a place where we have an opportunity to go ahead and know where our candidates are going with something as critical as this. The reason it's so important right now is because there are virtually every city in the state of Arkansas that has 5,000 to 6,000 people that are involved in the lobbying business, or not the lobbying, but the lodging business or the food business, either members of A&P commissions, CVBs across the state, or they are members of the AACVB. We can start from Bella Vista and go all the way down I-49. We can go all the way over to Harrison, Jonesboro, and all over the state of Arkansas, realizing that we've got a lot of money coming in, plus the 2% the state collects. Now, what does that mean for the state? I don't know exactly. But this is a very, very conflicted issue. And I think that if we take some time at some point and individually want to peel off and talk about it, we can. I don't have enough information to take you much further than what I am telling you right now. But it is a situation, I think, that does bear our serious look, because it would affect every one of you in the lodging business. It would affect basically everybody in our city in the lodging business. And believe it or not, it would affect everybody that's not in our city, because all of a sudden we don't know where that money is going. Now, the other part of it, here's the great news. Should the DFNA collect it, will they tell us who they are collecting from? No. No more so than Airbnb or VOVR or Booking.com is telling us right now. So it's really, I don't even know it's of a double-edged sword. It's just not I don't think it's a great move for our city, and I do not think it's a good move for our state right now. That's what I know.
So, Mike, you said that this was scheduled to be heard by the Arkansas Supreme Court? Is that what I heard?
No, not our Supreme Court. It has been heard by another state's Supreme Court, and Airbnb won.
Oh.
Okay. So, yeah, this is, number one, if you could email us what you know about this.
Yeah, I did the other day. I actually have the synopsis of this meeting. I'll resend it to you. I have a new device which does a remarkable job of summation, and I'll send you the summation of that meeting the other day, including everything else that went into that meeting. But everything we know, because it did come from the Municipal League, and we did talk also about collections. And every city is a little different in what happens. Everybody has a payment plan. Everybody has a methodology of trying to collect. But I'll tell you what, we have a problem. Bentonville has a problem. Rogers has a problem. Fayetteville, we all do. So it is not just us, believe it or not. We may be probably the best off of all that I've heard. We are more aggressive in our collections than anybody is, from what I understand. It's good news, but on the same token, we don't have 1,700 collectors either, but we have enough that makes it uncomfortable for us.
So, and you'd also made a comment about somebody, I don't know if it was with the AML, being neutral in this discussion?
He was trying.
Yeah, his director.
So my question is, why are they being neutral? They should be on our side.
Well, this is can you answer that? None of us could really quite get the feel for why this was. Well, number one, we were happy that we were learning about this because it was not on the agenda to begin with. They kind of came in. So I think the reason they were being neutral is because he wanted to walk out of the room. He didn't want to get in his car and to go boom. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but he was also being somewhat serious to the effect that if the attorney for Airbnb had come in and tried to make this presentation, it would have been a very, very long, uncomfortable meeting because obviously nobody in that room was in favor of this. I have his name. I think it's in the summation report that I have. And anyway, it was a guy, he was trying very hard to be, again, neutral. And he wasn't able to answer any more questions than I can. But he made the presentation. It's a lot longer than this, but yet on the same token, it's nonetheless there.
Has our attorney opined on this, or does he know about it?
No, this is really new. Okay. I mean, literally, we got out of the car this morning, feet on the ground in Eureka Springs about 9 o'clock this morning. So this is all pretty fresh stuff. So still roiling amongst some of our constituents.
To me, this sounds like somebody wants to just kick in on collections. They do not belong to that company. I mean, like, at the end of the line, if this would happen, we definitely would collect less. And I think we would lose the control. I mean, we can forget about our list with the due diligence, with the past due. And because we don't know who's paying and who's not paying. Right. And you're not telling me that in Little Rock they would be able to nail down who's behind and who's not. I mean, it would just get all the effort what we're doing here to find and to be honest and to be truthful to everybody, the whole effort would go away. And then on top of that, we would have to pay a 3% commission. It's just ridiculous. And I'm sure we would lose a whole lot more than just 3%.
Well, it would take a whole nother level of enforcement for the DFA to all of a sudden realize they've got to go collect now from lodging properties. And I don't know how many guys they got running around, but they would take another army.
You know,
David.
It would be interesting to know from our past due collectors how many are pursued by the state, not just by us. And I'm not sure if I can bet on it, but I probably think that none of them are pursued by the state.
Don't know.
Because they don't know. They don't care.
David?
I just wanted to say, you know, back when Airbnb tried to do this in our legislative sessions before, you know, my husband and I were down there for weeks fighting against this bill. And one of the things that we learned was that, you know, these legislators are funded in huge amounts of money by companies like Airbnb. I mean, we have a legislator in Bella Vista who owns over 27 Airbnb properties. So it's in his best interest to allow this to happen. I wish I owned 27 properties, but I don't. And I guess my point is, you know, we've got this dark money, whether it's from Wayfair, Airbnb, or whatever coming in. A perfect example is what's happening in our session now with this money coming in against a certain candidate that is just blatant lies. And we're seeing this again here with this Airbnb. And you're right, if this happens, it's not going to be good for the city at all.
It won't be. No, and you know, it harkens back to what you talked about earlier, David. Where does the tax money come from? It only makes it more complex.
Yeah.
Well, we just make sure that we keep an eye on it.
Well, okay, for some good news.
Yes, please.
I had a great opportunity to spend a goodly amount of time with a person from Arkansas Heritage yesterday. And I said, oh, by the way, we have this little auditorium that's turning 100 years old in started in 1928 when they started the hole in the ground. In 1929, the first concert appeared here. So in 2029, this building will be 100 years old, a centennial event. And we have already started working with a company called Granted, which is grant with an ED on the end for granted. Don't take it for granted, it's the name of the company. To go ahead and seek grant opportunities for the repair and a lot of the stuff in this building, including the windows on the outside of the exterior, the tuck and pointing of brick and masonry, the roof that's leaking, and also our green room upstairs. And when I talked to this person from Arkansas Heritage, not only has she been to the Willie Nelson concert here, but the Emmylou Harris concert here, and also a Leon Russell concert here, she said, I'm in. So we have really a golden opportunity right now. And she said, what do you want? And I said, well, that's a really good question. I said, I'm really fielding questions, I'm fielding ideas and so forth for what we can do in preparation to have a celebration for this auditorium that turns basically 100 years old as a performance venue effectively in 1929. It just so happens that she also had worked in a house of restoration. We have the original blueprints of this building, which are next door at Cassie Dishman's office in a vault. They're in terrible condition, but they are the original blueprints. Our good friend up the street, Jeff Danos at the Historical Museum, has taken photographs of them. They're big prints that we can go ahead and send off and find out what the restoration of those would take. We also found recently upstairs in the closet, we have many, many posters, flyers, and so forth that go way back in time that are in pristine condition that look like they could be turned into money. So we're looking at possibilities of being able to go ahead and do some restoration of those things. If not, go ahead and use them for an event of some sort. So I'm kind of excited about that. More to come. One of the items that came up at GovCon was we have 4 distinct seasons, obviously. Throughout the state of Arkansas, something's been created called base camps. Base camps are basically meccas for things to start to work outward into the communities. They can include almost anything you can think of, but because this was basically a governor's conference that had such an emphasis on outdoor recreation, the base camp theme is also inclusive of everything that you can do in the great outdoors in the state of Arkansas. Not just mountain biking, but hunting, fishing, hiking, camping, skydiving, doesn't make any difference what it is, horse riding, horseshoe throwing, swimming, just anything that becomes a consideration for a particular city that can create a extended stay. This is what the state of Arkansas wants. They want to double the taxation of the 2% tax in the next 10 years. It's right now at about $26 million a year the state takes in. They would like to see that over $50 million in the next 10 years. The only way to do that, literally, is not to raise the tax, to increase the number of people that come into the communities. Herein is the reason for the base camps. Get people to bring their families in for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days a week, whatever. Create a longer stay, a longer opportunity. We were disappointed that we were not one of the base camp cities. So at 5:30 in the morning on Monday, I sent a letter off to our Secretary of Arkansas Heritage, Parks and Tourism, our tourism director, along with a couple other people, and said, we want to be a base camp city. We want it ASAP. So it looks like we're going to be one in 2027. It just takes a little bit of maneuvering to get those things done. If any city in the state of Arkansas is a base camp, it's us. We just are. And we had Sam Dudley there over the week with us, which was fantastic. He was able to speak to that segment of our outdoor economy. And, you know, by virtue of really being around these people, it does help move the needle, if you will. Shira was there with us all past few days and got to talk to a lot of people and understand really kind of how this mechanism works. You got to be there to get it. That's really what it amounts to. Last thing, ESAW.org. That is the new website for the Eureka Springs Auditorium. It is fantastic. ESAW.org. Please go to it. Caitlin Jarrell has been doing a phenomenal job on this website. We're so excited about it. I'm personally excited about it because it is layering in the history of the auditorium, all the events that are coming up, all the people that will be playing. It's only been up a short time, so we are still trying to propagate it with lots of material, the history of the auditorium, the people that have played here, which goes way back. We're talking with Danos again about restoring some of those photographs that have been down in the archives for a very long time. And this is just, it's so good and it's so fresh that it's so easy to get through too as well. And we're giving people the opportunity to go ahead and take a look at how you book it. I've been using this recently to talk to promoters. You know, now we've got a place to say, look at what we got. These are the people showing up here. This helps them decide, oh, you got Little Feet, you got Lucas Nelson. You've got these people coming, and now we're starting to get that attention, I think, that promoters really kind of want to know. If you've got your worth, this proves it. So any questions, happy to answer them. If not, then it was a good governor's conference.
Yes, David?
I'm always going to have questions.
That's okay.
And this is going to be met with probably some hesitation, I would caution this commission against using the term base camp as a base camp city. Only because of previous situations that this commission has found itself in, and then naming that after something that exists already. So that's where I'm going to leave it.
Good.
And I fully
Good advice.
I understand. However, the rest of the state.
I get it. I just want y'all to be aware. If you're not, I'm sure Mike can fill you in.
Thank you. Okay. Can we get a motion to approve? Do we need a motion to approve?
I don't think so.
I didn't think
Did you
so.
have a good time, Shira?
I had a great time.
I just had a quick question. Did you say Caitlin did the website?
Yes.
Oh, it's fantastic.
So I have a question. Is the old website not working then?
Visit Eureka Springs is alive and well, but we felt that the auditorium needs its own website. It has had one in the past. And a couple of 3-4 years ago, another agency came in and said, you don't need that. And that was a mistake. And we decided that we needed to bring that website back. And it's just a very good thing to have for this auditorium. Whatever happens, to visit eurekasprings.com, and we're all merged together, understand this.
Right.
But in this particular case, it's the identity of this building that's like.
It's a beautiful website. The reason I was asking, as Danielle knows, when I saw Lucas Nelson was coming, this will be like my 6th time seeing him, I couldn't get tickets. It wouldn't go to the link, and I couldn't figure out why. And I don't know, so my point is I don't know if it's because it's Safari, which Safari seems to always have issues with going to external links, or just something to be cognizant of, that you want all browsers to work. What is it? DuckGo or?
Well, hopefully it was cross-pollinating correctly. I don't know if it was a situation where this notice went up before the tickets went on sale. Now, one of the problems is the tickets are released at a certain time. And this may have been that rare, I shouldn't say rare, may have been an instance when the PR went out before the tickets went on sale.
Oh, there was a lot already sold. I was at the other website.
And you could get on like Chrome or Bing or go.
I'm leery going to other places because I don't know if those are really true ticket sales or reselling or.
And you don't want to.
Right.
So, but anyways, it didn't work for me. I got the link, and when I clicked on the link, it worked fine. I don't know what was going on from the other website.
Okay, thank you. That's good to know.
Yeah. You should try, it's over half full or half sold out already.
I know. I did get you tickets all the way back.
Okay. On to old business. We need to, under old business A, it's the CAPC 2026 election of officers and positions. My understanding is that Heather is ready to pass the torch and no longer be the secretary. And then we have an opening for vice chair. So any thoughts?
First of all, who's interested in serving in those positions?
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Who's interested in serving in those positions? I guess that's between Robert and Colton. So
I like that's between.
pick the one you want.
So this is an ignorant question. You all cannot serve in those positions because you're on city council?
I think we can. I personally, as a representative of the city council, do not want to, just to get rid of any potential conflict of interest or complete transparency. So
I would say that too if I were in your position.
yeah, I mean, it just makes sense to me. I'm glad that Steve Holyfield stepped up when he did. We didn't really have a choice at that time. And I'm only speaking for myself. I can't speak for Sue. That's how I feel about it, and that's why I said Robert and Colton.
Here's why I feel the way I feel. My commission is up in June, and there are no guarantees. Now, that could start the rumor mill, but being that we're going into March, there should be, I think, somebody who is in each position that their commissions are not up in June.
Is Robert, are you also up in?
For secretary?
No, you're just.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I was
think
thinking- I was
that
thinking-
I'm the only one because I
Okay.
came in halfway through,
I wasn't sure if I was
stepped in
remembering that
halfway through
incorrectly.
somebody else's.
Gotcha. Okay.
Quick question, Mike. For our secretary position, it's only for the purpose of taking meeting minutes, correct? Can we utilize a staff member, Danielle, to do that.
You know,
Danielle's going to
You're
kick you
volunteering.
so hard.
you know, this is a good point.
I did.
This is that the convenience of the commission is how to do this. And I will say that I am recording this meeting right now, which will provide you a summation after we walk out the building within 5 minutes.
Yep.
And you'll have basically the same documentation that would need to go to City Hall for approvals and for permanent record keeping. This is a phenomenal program. I sent some of you the summation from the other day. It's the most incredible program I've ever seen. Some people were using it the other day when I was in Little Rock, and they went, wow, this is great. It's called Astari. It only works, unfortunately, on Apple, but it will provide a transcription of every word said, but it also will provide a summation of all that along with action items. It's an incredible program. And again, you'll have a report after we adjourn this evening, probably within a few minutes of what happened today in summation.
Yeah, and I'm glad you bring that up because that was my second point, Danielle. And I wanted to see the big eyes, but essentially all we would need you for is to call votes, call roll. I'm trying to think of anything else.
Similar to what the clerk does.
Exactly. Record it using this program, turn it into official minutes. It'd really be very easy, I think, to do. But I guess my
More of a bylaws issue? I mean, isn't it an
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
commission bylaws structure?
I am happy to continue doing it until we replace, but just from that perspective of I am up in June, and so therefore it feels from a longevity perspective we should. Now, just so that you know, these minutes, there is a disclaimer at the top that says the meeting is audio and video recorded, and the recording serves as the official record of the meeting. The minutes are just a supplemental summary. They are not as in-depth as they once were before we moved to video and audio recording. So this is not like, taking an hour to do. I do it as we go.
Right.
So it is minutes, essentially, and taking roll.
For purposes of historical reasons, the reason we do that is to document votes. That's essentially the reason for the minutes.
I do think using the note-taking app to document minutes makes sense. I have an Android, so I can't download the app. Robert, I don't know what kind of...
Likely
The
excuse.
thing is,
I can give you the report. It would also solve the question of the seventh commissioner. So just keep that in your...
This is true. We need another commissioner.
it used to be that some from the staff member would record the minutes or the protocol. That used to, I don't know why it at some point changed to a commissioner that has to write the minutes. I personally think it's not the right way to go because the commissioner is distracted by writing minutes
You are
and
right.
cannot really focus on his position as a commissioner. To me, I always felt like it's wrong that the commissioner has to write their minutes. It's not the point that I don't want to do it. It's a point about I'm here as a commissioner and I want to give you my attention to the meeting. But if you constantly have to think about what's going on, that's not really helping. So,
Could we check the bylaws just to do our due diligence? Okay.
In most cases, really what it amounts to is at the end of the meeting,
Okay.
minutes, she gathers the minutes, it's signed off on by the chair, as to document the meeting, and also by the director.
Right.
And that's really the essence of it, so. we
Yeah, I would check bylaws, and I would also maybe check with our attorney to see that we can actually do that in accordance with the Arkansas
Okay.
code, just to be on the safe side. Because
I
it's
mean,
a great
like-
idea. Using AI is a fantastic idea. I don't know why we haven't done
when
it yet.
the finance director, when Rick Bright was finance director, he was always writing the minutes. And there was never a problem. Well, this is 12 years ago, but he did that and we never had a problem with it. So I think there's no...
Well, unfortunately, Siri, or AI, cannot be our vice chair.
So, yes, that was a great segue.
Scary to sit next to in a meeting, everybody, is it?
Or Alexa, whatever you want to call them.
Have you asked?
Yes.
Have I asked?
Alexa.
So
I've actually been recording the meetings as well, just the same as what Mike's doing. We have a program on the computer that puts the transcripts out that I've gotten approval from the city council or the city to use. And to my knowledge, there is no bylaws that it violates or anything like that. So any council, we've been helping them with the minutes as of recently.
Thank you.
You.
Thanks,
Our
Avery.
secretary.
Appreciate
Awesome.
that.
Does it summarize it though?
Yeah. So Colton, would you consider sitting?
Would I consider it? Yeah, sure. I guess.
Let me rephrase this. May I nominate?
Motion. Sure. To be vice chair.
Okay, I would like to nominate Colton Scrivener to sit as vice chair of the CAPC.
Second.
That was quick.
Vote, Shira, vote, vote, vote.
So in this case, to pick the vice chair, I vote, or do I need to, I'm sorry, you're,
You probably won't have to vote. I mean, you're going to have the
You would be a type.
majority.
oh, okay. That's what I thought. So I'm going to say the norm. David has made a motion to nominate Colton Scrivener as vice chair, seconded by Susan Gruning. All in favor? Say
Aye.
aye.
Aye. Now, are you
Motion
accepting?
passes, you lucky winner.
You'll have to tell me later what that involves.
I do have a question. If I'm going to continue until we settle this, do we have to make a motion, or are we good? Are we,
I
Do you know?
think
Are
it
we
just
good?
stands, right? That's,
That stands.
okay.
yeah, I think it just stands. We do still have a vacant seat, position 1, and I'd like to encourage anybody to apply and come out and join us on the commission. Let's help make Eureka Springs tourism strong and join our team. So I see eyes being made at folks. Come on, put in your applications.
And I just want to add to that, Shira, forget the drama of the past 3 years with this commission. It has been the easiest commission and the easiest staff to work with in over a year, and it's been incredible. So if you've got that thought, Vicki Welch, that you don't want to join this commission,
Yes, Vicki Welsh.
I'm just saying, it's 10 times better than it was before.
Thank you for that, David. And
Consider it, Vicki.
I do think that this is a great group of commissioners, and the CAPC team is a great one, and we all support the community, people in tourism, and also the folks that are not in tourism-driven businesses here. And I think everybody's got everyone's best interests at heart. So please apply. Thank you. Okay. So new business, what everybody came for. Funding requests. Let's get that going.
Who's up first?
They are in order in your folder.
Victorian
Thank you.
classic, okay.
All right, so we are beginning with the Victorian Classic. I can't, my
Which one is
binder's
first?
not working right. It wants to catch all the pages.
Good evening. I'm Anna Smedley. I'm the director of the Eureka Springs Community Center, and I am here with my partner, Doug Allen,
Hello, how are y'all?
Hello.
from Bubba's Barbecue. We are working together this year to revive a historic event in Eureka Springs, the Victorian Classic. Many of you may remember it. It's scheduled for March 28th. It will. We are really marketing to our racers, our runners, as a racecation, and working with different local businesses. We really want them to come spend their time in town and explore the city. Let's see. We are requesting funding, advertising funding for digital and print funding. We expect to have we're hoping to have about 300 runners this year. We already have 100 registered. And so a month out for a race like this, that's a pretty good solid. So our goal is 300, and I expect that we'll get pretty close to that. Do you have anything you want to add?
Great. Our goal is to build something sustainable, something fun, high energy for Eureka Springs. Obviously, we want to put butts in the beds and people in restaurants and, try to make this a 2-day deal, not just coming in on a Friday night, but we want people to stay for the whole weekend. So we're looking to build on this year and have a sustainable event and, help the lodging and the restaurants of Eureka Springs. It's definitely a legendary event that's been around for quite some time. It took a hiatus during COVID, but, we're excited to bring it back. We've got some experience putting these types of races together. My other business, Jose's, we put on the Chili Pepper Festival. We've done that since, forever, involved in that, and we've grown that. We also have put on a few runs separate from that, Spring Fest, a grassroots run from my house, which is called the Black Eyed Pea Run, a New Year's run. So we're very experienced on how to put these runs together, draw people into town, so it's not just local people. Runners come from all over. They come from Little Rock, Hot Springs, Bentonville. We get these people to come into Eureka Springs and stay, and I know that's important. David mentioned that earlier. If we're going to fund these events, we want these people staying in hotels and spending money in restaurants, coming downtown and shopping. So that's our focus in our advertisement, is to make sure Eureka Springs can benefit from that. Everybody, Yes, sir.
2 questions. One is this a one-day event, or like you have, let's say, a 5K on
Yes.
Friday and a 10K
Yes.
on Saturday?
So it's a one-day event, which starts at 8 a.m. and it's probably going to be over about 11 a.m. And it's important to note that because we don't want to interfere with any businesses as we run the traditional course through downtown. We don't want to interrupt the shops, as they open up. So it's an 8 o'clock to about 11 o'clock event. We have a packet pickup the night before. We've got some Wayhopper advertisement to get people to come into restaurants and shops and stuff like that to keep them around as well.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm really glad you guys are bringing this back. You've done a fantastic job. I've seen a lot on it already.
Thank you.
I do think maybe in the future, having a multi-day event, like a 1K, a 5K.
And that's what we talked about for sure, is to make this kind of a runcation type event, festival. Obviously, we don't want to interfere with and cause problems with parking and traffic. So it's something we definitely want to think about in the future. We had originally started with the 10K run, and then we thought we would honor Joe Head, who was a longtime resident of Eureka Springs, who had a large impact on the youth of Eureka Springs. So we added that part of the run as well. So we hope to expand that in the future for sure.
I mean, I would also like to see Bubba's Barbecue Banana Pudding eating contest. I think that would be
I'd like to eat in the banana pudding contest.
best banana
We have
pudding
some volunteers.
Excellent.
I think that would go over fantastic.
All finishers receive Bubba's
Banana pudding.
If you did not know anything about the Chili Pepper, as Doug said, was one of the longest running great events probably in Fayetteville for years between Doug and Joe Fennell and the people at Jose's. What a remarkable event. It was literally, I don't know how many states you reach, but a lot.
Thank you. That started out with 30 runners on the patio of Jose's and just grew from there to now. The last time I had worked it, I think we had fed 7,200 people. So that's how far that has grown. So not to say that, we're going to do that with this race, but we definitely expect it to grow.
Well, thank you for bringing this back.
Yeah, thank you for the
I
offer.
love it.
I feel like we're in really good company with the revival of the Fat Tire Festival and the
Oh, yeah.
Unicorn Run. Like, this is exciting for our
Yeah, yeah.
city to see these kinds of visitors, outdoor active visitors coming. I love this.
Well, and that was the entire theme of the 2026 GovCon that we just returned from is outdoor adventure.
And we all wish you great success in this venture. And with that, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve $2,500 for the Victorian Classic.
Second.
David made a motion and Heather seconded to go ahead and approve the $2,500 funding for the Victorian Classic. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for your. Okay. Next up, we have the Center Street Block Party. Oh, we missed you already.
I know. Okay. Do I need to introduce myself again for
No.
the recording? No.
So,
Okay.
thank you.
So we are in our third year of our annual Center Street Block Party, and for those of you that are not, again, it's an event for the Eureka Springs Community Center. It is scheduled for Saturday, May 30th. It is the weekend of the Blues Festival. For those of you not familiar with that event, what we have done the last 2 years is we've got a permit to shut down Center Street. Last year, our addition to it was we added a regional craft beer tasting event. We planned to sell 300 tickets. I was selling extra. I probably sold about an extra 50 day of. This year, I think we'll probably sell at least 500 tickets to that beer tasting. So we have a ticketed beer tasting event. We do have a cash bar for the folks that don't buy the tickets to the beer tasting. We have live music. We shut down the street to vehicle traffic, but not to pedestrian traffic. And it's from 11 in the morning until about 4 in the afternoon, and it is just a really fun event. We have a lot of visitors that come to it. So,
Earl, my husband and I attended last year. It was awesome. Neither of us actually drink beer, but we went to that section just to people watch. It was packed. There were tons of visitors that were not local, and everybody was having a great time. And I want to speak to the sensitivities about alcohol on the street. There was no debauchery. People were behaving, and it was just a fun vibe, and the music was great.
Were you guys required to do a temporary entertainment district last year for that?
we did not do the temporary, the blues, the Eureka Springs Blues Party got the temporary entertainment district. We got the permit to shut down the street, Center Street, and then we got the permit, the temporary alcohol permit from ABC. So there was already a temporary entertainment district in place.
Okay. And they're doing the same this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they will ask, from what I understand.
Are they falling under the Blues Festival?
We are not an official event of the Blues Festival.
I think they need to.
All the funding goes to the community center.
Was it done the exact same way last year?
Yes, we're going to do, so the first year was a little bit different because we roped it off and only ticketed people to get into Main Center Street. Last year, we didn't rope it off. We just shut it down to vehicle traffic, and then added the beer tasting.
Okay, because Sue and I, as representatives of
Yes.
City Council, want to make sure that you're covered liability-wise, because if you're not under a temporary entertainment
Right.
district, then you've opened yourself up to, and us, to a lot of different things.
I think we need to check that.
Right, so if they don't get a temporary entertainment district, then our alcohol permit changes
Well, no,
and
you
gets
can
very
You can
different.
have your own entertainment
Right.
district.
We could have our own entertainment district, or we have to completely rope off the whole street. And only let ticketed people in. So if there's a temporary entertainment district, people can come and go. We only serve when we check ID, but people can come and go. If you don't allow the festival to have a temporary entertainment district, then we would have to pivot and work with ABC, and then we would it would be like Oktoberfest. Rotary does October, yeah. So it would probably be easiest for us to get our own that day. We will piggyback off of the festival's temporary entertainment district permit. But if they don't get it, we'll come to you ourselves.
Yeah, I'd probably start collaborating with, is it Mary?
We work. Yes, we do collaborate with them.
I would just
yes, absolutely.
make sure that your
Yes.
event is in the district.
No, it is. Yes, this is our third year to work with them. It's in their district.
So they are doing the district.
They will. Yes, they will apply for that. Yes.
Okay. As long as they're in the district.
But they're not a business. They don't have any.
Do I hear a motion?
Oh, hang on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He's still.
We're having a lot of questions here.
I
Sorry.
think we need to check Heather.
The entertainment district is being applied for. I can tell
Yes.
you that.
Yes.
It is not going to be through us because it's basically from the Blues Party weekend organizers. We are participating with them because we also are doing music and also providing not part of that, but also an independent concert on the 28th which I can tell you about. Eric Gales will be playing on the 28th. And it's a loaded weekend. I mean, not loaded in the sense of being loaded, but loaded in the sense that it's a full weekend of entertainment. So.
Here's my question. So
I know.
you don't get a temporary entertainment district?
We do not, because we
So-
haven't, oh,
okay,
sorry,
so
yes,
you-
no.
So you do not. So what if somebody else wants to block off an area and bring in a beer sale and not do a temporary, I mean, does that open it for everybody just because Blues Fest has identified a temporary entertainment district? I get that the businesses that already exist can do that, but this is a little different.
Yeah, so let's say that they do not get an entertainment district, and you have to pivot, whose ABC license will you come under in order to have that district?
No, it's our, so if the festival, the weekend festival doesn't, then what we will do is apply the Rotary model. And so, Rotary does Oktoberfest. They just get, I'm in Rotary, we just get our own entertainment district for our own little area. So we'll pivot and apply for that then.
It's a picnic. It's a picnic pass.
Yes,
It's a what?
it's our
called a
ABC
picnic
license. Yeah.
So you have a license?
We apply for the license, and I don't have it yet because it's too early, because I send in the street closure and the entertainment district map and all, so I'm way too far out to send that in. But yes, we get a temporary liquor license from ABC.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Good.
It's what they call a picnic day pass, essentially.
Yes.
So, yeah. And it's just for one day, and it does basically segregate that specific area only, and in fact, it's roped off. You've got to, you can't leave, but you can be in there, but you can't leave.
Yeah.
So,
Did you have a question?
I make a motion to approve $2,500 for the Center Street Block Party.
Second.
Okay. Robert made a motion, Colton seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
You.
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have the Nightmare in the Ozarks Film Festival.
Should I get up there, or can I do it from here? What's the appropriate? Okay. So this is the third year of the Nightmare in the Ozarks Film Festival. This year it'll be October 21st to 24th, so I'm here to request, well, I'm here for the CAPC meeting, but I'm also here to request $5,000 in marketing support. And so just to tell you, for those of you that don't know about the festival, it's a 3-day, 4-night film festival that showcases films that are currently on the festival circuit in the horror, thriller, and sci-fi genres. In the past 2 years, marketing support from the CAPC has allowed us to create what is now a nationally recognized film festival and has sort of put Eureka Springs on the map when it comes to an emerging area for film. So for example, in its first year, the New York Times named it one of the top 5 Halloween film festivals worth traveling for, alongside some very long-standing film festivals, which got a lot of attention. And last year, we received over 300 film submissions from over 20 countries. We attracted over 500 visitors, including news reporters, magazine journalists, podcasters, influencers, who all went and then marketed the festival and the town themselves. We've also attracted several industry partners, in particular last year. And because we had a healthy marketing budget from the CAPC, most of those industry partners were willing to let us advertise on their platforms for free. So for example, Rue Morgue, which is one of the premier horror magazines in the world, gave us a free half-page color ad in their glossy magazine that's distributed to tens of thousands of people. And it was their Halloween edition, which is kind of a collectible edition. We also got a free op-ed on their website that gets hundreds of thousands, if not millions of clicks a year. And we also had some free social media advertising from them because they knew that their logo would be on the stuff that we advertised for the film festival. So all that to say that we probably earn our marketing support back just through partnerships alone, not to mention the people who do come to town. And this year we're also partnering with the Writers Colony here in town to do a horror writers workshop.
I'll say this, I came along your magazine last year, or the program, the booklet, and I was highly impressed.
Thank you.
I really think that this is a really awesome event.
Thank you. We had, so the program is a glossy paper sort of program. Looks, I think, very professional. Costs extra money to do that, but it looks really good. In fact, when we ordered those magazines, the person who proofread it for the company that we ordered them through, he lives in Dallas. He's just a contractor. He showed up for the festival because he saw he's the one who proofread the magazine to make sure that, or proofread the program to make sure that it was correct for printing, and he became interested in it, and he drove up here and stayed for 3 days for the festival. So.
I wanted to say anecdotally, I have 200 Gen Z students across 2 colleges at University of Arkansas. And the other day, they know I live in Eureka, and they asked me, do you go to Zombie Crawl and to the film festival? And I said, well, yes, and I serve alongside somebody on our local commission. They actually, their clubs, some of the sororities and fraternities are actually making, like, on their own, doing a thing where they're coming into Eureka for this specific reason. They're so excited. They think it's the coolest thing ever. And I will hear people saying, how do we get the younger folks there? This is how. They are very excited. And then they overheard them talking about it. Now their curiosity is piqued. And so you've got a college full of people in Fayetteville that are making plans to come here and spend their weekends. And that's how we get the 21 and 22-year-old crowd to start coming and then keep coming.
I make a motion to approve $5,000 for the Nightmare in the Ozark Film Festival 2026.
You recuse yourself.
Second.
You have some more to say?
Yeah, second.
Okay. Robert made a motion to approve the $5,000 to the Nightmare of the Ozarks Film Festival. David seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Make sure you make a note that Colton recused himself.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
I was speaking to AI, not Heather, but okay.
All right.
You will update all that.
Well, good golly. Okay, next we have Obscuricon.
I'm involved in this one, so I'll recuse myself.
Thank you. Make note, please, that Colton has recused himself from voting on Obscuricon as well.
Hello, everybody. My name is Danny Watson. I know most of you guys. I co-produce and direct the Steampunk Festival, and I am happy to announce that this year in July that Colton Scrivener and I, we are going to put on a new convention at the Convention Center. The dates are July 24th and 25th. And Obscuricon, what is Obscuricon? Obscuricon is basically a 2-day gathering of thought leaders that are explore the science and the history and the culture of the unexplained. What that means is basically we're going to have speakers that are going to be speaking and having workshops on topics such as cryptids, such as UFOs, such as quantum healing hypnotic therapy. We do have several people already committed to come to the conference and speak, including but not limited to Patty Negree from Ghost Adventures. Nick Pope is the former head of the British government of UFO investigations program. We have a gentleman who's a very interesting fellow. His name is Lyle Blackburn, and he is the leading researcher of Bigfoot in this and the Fouke monster, which is our version here in Arkansas. Those of you who are not familiar with that, he is coming. Some of the things that we're going to do workshop-wise, we also have an archaeologist who is going to come, and one of the workshops she's going to offer. I made notes on this because it's always hard for me to say this. Ancient Arabic tablets. We do have someone locally here that, like I mentioned before, the QHHT is going to have a workshop for someone that wants to learn about that. We also have a first contact ball, which is going to be on the Saturday evening. It'll kind of be the end of the convention.
Wait, what is it? Sorry to interrupt. What is it called?
It's called the First Contact Ball.
First
First contact. So it's basically going to be a big party, right, with a DJ. And we encourage everyone to come and dress as your favorite UFO or cryptid or anything else like that.
So I did have to look up the word cryptid because I didn't know what it was. Does everybody know what it is?
Do you want to
Cryptid
share
is-
that? Share that.
Cryptid is like Mothman or Chupacabra or Bigfoot, those types of crazy things. We also have someone that's going to come and speak about remote viewing. And the remote viewing, this is a program that's been going on allegedly by the government for many, many, many decades, where you can basically take yourself to another place and spy on the enemy or use that.
Okay.
It's going to be very interesting, to say the least.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Well, maybe. But basically, I can come to the CAPC office and just hang out and do it from my living room at the Steampunk Inn, so and just see what Mike's doing, that kind of thing. So, but these are just a few of the things that we're going to be doing. We are asking for $4,000, and basically, I just would like to say that collectively, Colton and I, we're co-directing and producing this together, we have a good track record between the two of us. We do the Steampunk Festival, the aforementioned Nightmare in the Ozarks Film Festival, and of course the Zombie Crawl. So was there any questions, or if Colton, if you wanted to add anything to that?
If I can, I don't know how that, I guess. The only thing I would add is that I think a lot of people that are coming to this convention are going to be interested in other things Eureka Springs has to offer. So we're having people who are interested in ghosts and the paranormal coming to see Patty Negri. Obviously, there are a lot of things in Eureka, including places to stay and experiences to have and stores to shop that have to do with the paranormal. We'll have a lot of people coming who are interested in aliens and UFOs. We, of course, have our own UFO conference here in Eureka in April. I suspect many of them will be back for that if they weren't aware of it yet. We also have people coming who are interested in cryptids. As we mentioned, outdoorsmanship is something we're starting to promote. That's obviously most people who are interested in cryptid hunting are avid outdoorsmen, and I think they would find Eureka Springs a fun place to do that kind of thing. So I think the idea is to bring a lot of people together who independently may not hang out with each other, but in this convention would find some common ground and perhaps and hopefully discover a new place to explore their interests outside of just this convention. And it is 2 full days, so it starts Friday morning and ends Saturday night. We're expecting people to come for 3 nights.
Are you having a website?
We already
Or
have a
will it
website,
be
yeah.
on just Facebook?
No. So if you go to EurekaObscuraCon.com, we already have a website up with some of our speakers and some of the events that we have confirmed.
Yeah, we already have, I think, 8 people lined up, and we're still actively working on that, even as recently as today. So,
yeah.
So they'll continue to grow as far as the lineup goes, as who will be presenting the workshops, and of course we'll also have vendors, 2 days of vendors at the Inn of the Ozarks at the Convention Center. So we're asking for $4,000, and I would be happy to answer any other questions, David.
And this is not necessarily directed at this event. It's something that I would want the commission to consider, is that when we do fund events like this, I would like to start thinking about ways to get other businesses in town involved. For instance, when you say vendors, maybe 1 or 2 vendors at another hotel, or maybe something at the community center, or maybe something at Basin Springs Park. You don't have to do it. That's something I just want us to look at in the future when we start scoring events, is how do we get the rest of the city involved?
David,
we
are
are
you
planning on doing side events. So
Yeah.
we'll have, we're taking our main plenary speakers out for dinner somewhere in town. We're doing a ghost hunt off camp, like in town, off campus. We'll be doing a meet and greet, probably at a coffee shop.
Perfect.
On
Okay.
grounds, probably. So we are working to expand it outside of Inn of the Ozarks, and of course we're open to ideas. But yeah, the idea is to get people into the town. I think it's a little different from the UFO festival in that way, which is a bit more. UFO convention's a bit more insular, but I think our plan is to expand it to other places in town for the reasons that I mentioned. I think these people would be interested in what's going on in town.
Yeah, so thank you for doing that. And just as a commission, in the future, we need to look at modeling after what Colton and Danny have done for events like this. So thank you.
So do you want a motion to approve it?
I make a motion to approve $4,000 in funding for Obscuricon.
Second.
Heather made a motion to approve $4,000 to Obscuricon, and David seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Okay, next up, we have the 45th Annual Eureka Springs Preservation, I can't speak, sorry, Dee, Preservation Christmas Tour of Homes.
I am Dee Bright. I'm chair of the Preservation Society and have been for about, well, I've been part of it for about 20 years. Nobody else will take the job. Before I get started, to address David's concern that we've learned tonight, which I've always tried. Devin had to leave. He's secretary on our, or treasurer on our board. The parade is the night before. And we always try to market this to get people to come in on Friday night for the parade, stay, you know, eat breakfast, lunch, shop, and everything all day Saturday, then go to the tour, and then go out for dinner after the tour. So we try to get 2 nights in beds.
Perfect.
Always have. Thank you.
Of course, owning lodging, I have always tried because I wanted them to stay at my place also. So I put in your packets 2 of our past books. People do collect these. You forgot to give them to
I
them.
did.
What's the date? December 5th?
People do collect these. I have one lady from Memphis, I don't know how many years, at least 15. She can't come any longer because she is not able, because she's well up, higher 80s. She sends us a donation for these books every year. And
That's sweet.
that's wonderful. You know. We did the save the date. They've been out since last November. And for our homeowners, because we did have a problem last year, we could not get enough homes. And we are out. We have these that we're already putting out. We have on, I believe it's March 7th, we're a meet and greet at Kathy Hanley's home. She's vice chair. Interested people in having, and we do have 4 houses already this year. So it will happen this year. So any other questions? Our biggest expense, besides, you've got all of that information in your packets, but the trolley does cost us $4,000.
Wait, it costs what?
$4,000 a year. We pay $4,000 to our transit, to a
To do
trolley, to shuttle
drive
the
people around?
people
Okay.
Yeah, they shut.
to the tour.
I thought you were talking about advertising with the trolley.
No,
That was my question.
I
Okay.
mean, we do
That's a
that
lot.
in our printing for these books, and, you know, we do sell ads, as you can
And so
see
then
in the books.
The shuttle is then free to the people who have, their purchase of the ticket includes that shuttle service.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate a little bit on how you use the profit? I mean, like, I see,
Sure.
like, from, I guess this was from the year before.
Last year, we gave $26,000 to Basin Park, to part of that project, for all of our money stays in town. I don't have to buy the pins anymore at Hobby Lobby that I used to buy half price, because we don't use the labels. We use it all on our phone or their books. So no money is spent out of town except the radio, if we do KUAF, or we do Berryville, can't think, KTHS. That's our only money spent out of town. That is my big pet peeve, is keep the money in town. This year, the Crescent gazebo next to the library, that is our responsibility pretty much. I know it's parks, but we have taken care of it. Preservation built it way before I moved here. It needs all the moons and stuff up above. I know Sam has them in the office. They're falling off. We have gotten one bid for it, for painting and repairing that whole structure. So that we take care of a lot of our pocket parks by giving parks money is our biggest, thing. And I will probably, I don't know if you can see the shiny floor at that 1/3 of it. Main Street has been doing it. I'll sit on Main Street, but we help them give donations. We've got 2/3 of the floor. We've got about $6,000 worth of work and supplies left. And we just have to, we're working with Mike to get a new date, but that will also be a way our money's spent.
Thank you.
And I learned 2 more projects today. Our post office needs things that they can't get. So I've got to find screws and a globe.
Dee, how many homes do you have, I guess, already slated for this year?
4.
4.
4 for
And
sure.
what do you
A couple of
typically have?
maybes.
What makes a good experience for someone who pays $30?
$30. A lot of it is just repeat, David. We have, Thundertex. Mike's aware of that. That's what Larry uses to sell the tickets. So we've been using that. So we have a huge email and all of that we resend them out. They want the historic homes. They're not so picky about being, of course, they love the big ones and all, but they also, the history, the small ones, they want to come into a home. Smitty will tell you that people come in every week wanting to go into a home, and that's the only way they can come to the homes is on the tour of homes. And I think Danielle had a lot of calls last year. People were extremely disappointed we didn't have a tour.
Yeah, I think, and where I'm getting and asking that question is, if it's the same 4 homes year after year after year, me as a customer, I'm not going to pay every single year to see the exact same thing. So I'm wondering if you can open this up to historic landmarks, the auditorium or City Hall or local businesses that are in a historic building.
We can, as long as we don't get the pushback. They do not want to go see bed and breakfast.
Oh, I don't blame
have
them.
been told that over and over and over. Susan?
I agree, Dee. I volunteered at the Staten Suites, Staten Gallery Suites, and when people came in, I tried to tell them about the artwork that is in those suites. Half of them didn't listen. I was like, oh, I guess they thought, they didn't want to be at a museum. They wanted to see homes.
Yeah.
Several were disappointed. They felt like some of the inns weren't decorated the way some of the homes were, but the inns are running a business too. They weren't shutting down. So they were decorating at a minimal amount to try to make it look nice. So I give them credit for trying. They, I think they picked up where we couldn't get the homes to come in and volunteer. But you're right, it was a lot of people were disappointed, and they want to go in and they want to see these beautiful Victorian homes.
I learned that early on because people would say, and being a person who owned a home or a bed and breakfast, I heard plenty of comments at that time, and they just, so we used to have 1 or 2 on, but they just don't really want to. They want to be in a home. I think the auditorium would be great, David. We just have to.
Well, Danielle loves to decorate. She loves it.
You're just signing her up for all the good stuff.
It was pretty nice last year.
Better to do.
You still want to be friends
You're liberal
with
with
Danielle
her,
at the end
liberal
of
with
this
your
meeting.
time.
And in the past, we have done the train station twice.
Yeah, I'm just, of course, it's not my place to say anything about the way you run your event. I'm just saying, but it is my place to say, what can we do to bring more people in, heads in beds or butts in beds, as Doug said?
Well,
and make it fun.
Here's a list, you guys.
So with those four, if you don't get any more homes, let's say, and maybe there's something that we can do on city council to, I don't want to say reward, but we'll get to that later.
Motivate.
Adding
Maybe drum
businesses
up
like the Odd or City Hall.
Yeah.
Or
Because
Basin
they're
Springs Park.
historic, and, I mean, people might really like to see inside of them. In 2019, just a minute, Susan, was our largest one we've ever had, and that was basically 1,400. Okay, that one was on Spring, Crescent Drive, and Prospect, and Ridgeway. That was too many people for our homes. We are preserving the homes, not tearing them up. So that time, then the next 2 years was COVID, and then we decided to try to cap it at 1,000. We've always gone over a little bit because more people want to, but 1,000 people in some of our homes is a lot of people.
How many homes do you normally have? Oh, I'm sorry.
Susan has her hand up.
Oh, go ahead.
She said,
I guess I missed it.
What?
How many homes do you normally have on the tour?
7, 8.
7 or 8.
We usually put one church on, and this year, I think we're having the, we have to talk with him again. He wanted on last year, the Red Door.
oh, up on Spring, or up on, up by the.
St. James.
St. James.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, the-
yeah,
He asked to be on last year. They weren't quite ready. And they've been on it many times. So we're looking at that end. We have 2 on the other end of that. And then halfway in between, kind of around the Gavioli Church, we've got 2 committed in that area. And then this little card we're putting out to a lot of the homes in those areas to come on that evening so we can see how, they need to see what's expected of them and see if they're really interested.
So how do you advertise to homes, like homeowners who would want to be on the tour? Like how do you get more? Because if you're having a
We are
problem where you
going
have to...
door to door, and we're handing these out and talking to the people in the area that we're targeting. That's right. No, that's not the one you have here.
Oh, I'll get a different one.
Here.
Okay.
I just printed these. We've been handing them out for 2 weeks.
I just mean it sounds like you have a demand problem, which is a good problem to have if you're having to cap $30 tickets at 1,000
Yeah, we
1,000
do
people.
have a
That's really
demand
good
problem.
issue to have. Yeah.
We don't have a lot of people. A lot of the people that were docents have died off.
Yeah.
It's the same problem in everything in this town. People are aging out, and we don't get enough volunteers. Every one of our organizations have that problem. Susan?
Have you picked an area, like in 2019, a lot of it was up on the historic, or up on the upper loop? So are you just going all through town just to try to get enough homes?
No, we want to try to keep them, they like to be close so they can walk.
Okay.
So they're not real spread out. And we also know with the trolley, if we have like St. James and 2 or 3 up in that area, and then we skip down to like the Gavioli and have 2, and then skip down and have 2 or 3 at the other end, your house in that area.
Yeah.
We do have
So
2
you are going to
houses.
focus up on the upper loop again?
That's what we're doing right
Okay.
now. I do have a couple on Spring, but if we can keep it together, we won't drop down to Spring until next year for 27.
I have a clarifying question. Sue just asked about if it's in one location, and you said you want to keep it a walking tour, but you're paying
No,
$4,000
They
for...
still have to get from downtown St. James to walk down to where Susan lives in that area. That's a hike. That's over, let me tell you, in 2019, I ran that area all the way to Transit because traffic jam was so bad, we ran out of tickets. I was taking tickets off of Butch, our mayor.
Okay,
thing.
that's fine. I just needed clarification because I
that's a
didn't know how
run.
it worked.
They don't
Okay.
want to walk that far. They'll walk from St. James, a couple blocks. They won't walk all the way to Gavioli.
That one in the best shape.
I'm ready to vote.
Can you hear me? Okay.
I make a motion to approve $5,000 for the 45th Annual Eureka Springs Preservation Christmas Tour of Homes.
Second.
Okay, Heather made a motion to approve $5,000 to the Christmas Tour of Homes. Susan seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you, Dee.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I'll be talking with you, Danielle. I think we'll see about, well, if we put this on earlier, maybe then the transit can go, I don't know. We'll
Dee,
talk
do you want
about
this
it.
back?
Thank you so much.
I don't want to keep them.
Next, we have
I want that one card. I'm going to give it to a neighbor
Run Unicorn Run.
house, and she would be perfect.
Yay. He didn't run very fast up to the lectern. We'd like you to try that again, please.
Yes, yes.
No, just kidding, come back.
Unicorns!
I felt like I saw a unicorn that time. Thank you.
You're welcome, my pleasure. Hi, y'all. Hope you're all doing really well. I'm Nate, and I'm here tonight representing Main Street with the rest of the fabulous unicorns from Main Street. We're asking support for our second annual Run Unicorn Run. Last year, we started the event. It was our first year, and we ended up having incredible success with 143 participants, and then also 28 community partners. So we went door to door through our businesses in our business district that Main Street serves, handed out flyers and asked for sponsorship, but also let them know what was going to be happening. Hey, we're here, and how do you want to participate? So folks sponsored water stations, which is really great. And then we had volunteers who stood out, held signs. We had 56 folks show up on a Sunday morning from Eureka and volunteered. So it was really amazing to see how the layers of this event, like the folks that came in, we had runners from New York all the way to Arizona. And now, even out of the 100 folks that were from Eureka, or from Arkansas, only 43 were from Eureka. So we had a really beautiful turnout from those 143 participants in our first year. We attribute that to our marketing partner and race partner, Heartland Racing, because they have a national presence and they lead races all over the country. So that really helped us get a wide, throw a wide net. And we found that folks came in either Friday night or Saturday night. Our packet pickup is the day before. And so we had, people actively inquiring, where did we go? What did we do? When is best to come in? Because we've never been to Eureka, which was really cool to see people who like to run and saw the opportunity to visit a place that they hadn't been. So overall, we felt like it was a success. And this year, we're looking at 250 plus runners to increase that. And those folks will have, 1 or 2 night stays, and of course, we'll eat out and, be in our community. And we have already folks that volunteered last year are already ready to volunteer this year. We were able to get the date out. And runners who ran last year can't wait to come back and bring other runners. Because generally, people who come to our event, or these running events, are folks who have a bachelor's prepared at least and have a $70,000 mean income, and this is their thing. So these folks may meet up once a month with their college friends or with a running group of friends. Like we would just go, kayaking, or this is their happy hour basically. So, yeah.
I want to say from last year, I didn't go, but I saw a lot of pictures, and it looked like a really fun event for everybody that was involved. I mean, me personally, I run from the bed to the refrigerator, and that's all you're going to get.
You hop.
I hop. But y'all did a fantastic job, and I'm really excited to see, like with you and what the community center's doing with the run. I'm really glad to see these things come to town, because it does mean a lot. And also for the commission, I don't know if I need to excuse myself on this vote. My husband is on the board of directors. I'm not immediately involved, so I don't know how you guys want me to, if you want me to recuse myself or not. I don't know if it's required.
I don't think so for just if you know somebody. Otherwise, I think all of us
We would all have to
recusing each other
ourselves. That's
every
right.
time we
I know,
vote.
right? Yeah, I just wanted to
Thank you
let
for
you guys
offering.
know for transparency. So
Yes, Susan.
So I did volunteer last year, and I do like the concept of this becomes a regular event. If people have, just like with the Victorian Run, if people come here and they look forward to that and they're like, oh, we're going to go back next year and we're going to bring our friends or we're going to bring somebody new that's running. I like that we keep repeating this, like the Tour of Homes. We changed it up last year and people aren't very good with change at times. So I think this is going to be great. When I volunteered up on the Upper Loop, telling people to go down a gravel road, slow down. That's where I hung out. But they were all happy. They were glad to be here. It was a lot of, Vicky's little granddaughter was a unicorn. But yeah, all the way from Oklahoma City. But we did have people from all across the country. Somebody specifically, I think Vicky was telling me, came from New York for this run.
I stood next to him in line.
What's that?
I stood next to whomever it was in line to pick up the race numbers from the person in New York telling me I was not expecting how cool this town is. And the line at Main Street was down the sidewalk. Everybody was just so happy to be there and to meet each other and to talk. And it was this wonderful vibe. And it was so fun, and the T-shirts are awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, it was an amazing vibe just being down on Center Street. Volunteers coming by, folks running, and even people did. So we have a 1 mile, a 5K, and a 10K. So there were folks who did the 1 mile, the fun run with their family, and then took off and did the 5K or the 10K. And it was really, to me, I'm a single person, and we would go do things as single groups or such, but it never occurred to me how much fun it would be for those folks to have the 1 mile and that they would keep running. Usually after 1 mile, I'm done, When I say I jogged to Brews, it means I sauntered slowly down Spring Street to Brews. So it was really amazing just to see how the run just to be a part of the run culture and to see how it really does have a very beautifully, almost defined, we're doing this for fun, and it's just this defined inclusivity that really goes in their culture. Yes?
So to add to that, there were 2 volunteers I want to recognize. They're my friends and my neighbors, Rob and Lori Stroud.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
They trained runners. They couldn't be here the day of the race, but every week they met the runners, whether hot, cold, rainy. I think maybe one time for inclement weather. But they were training someone that was impaired. They were blind. And this kid ran the race, and he finished.
And he finished,
I just get goosebumps thinking that's wonderful. They kept him motivated enough for him to still run that race.
It was really beautiful to see him, to see them finish.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's another layer, right? With Couch to 5K Soda quote to quote program, where folks a friend and I laughed. I said, "Are you going to do Couch to 5K?" And his wife said, "Yeah, you both should do it." And I said, "Ha ha ha!" And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to do it." Totally kidding. And he ended up doing it. And he was the only one out of all 4 of us that actually ran the marathon.
Well, shame on you.
Or not the marathon, that ran the 10K, the marathon to me, but yes. David?
My question's for Mike. Mike, remind me what the total number of points are available under the rubric?
180.
Maximum number is 180.
Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve $5,000 in marketing support for the Run Unicorn Run.
Second.
Okay, David made a motion to approve $5,000 to Run Unicorn Run. Susan seconded that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
I will add just this. Last year, when this event was the first time, I thought it's not going to be something durable. No offense. And when I saw the Facebook posts and all the happy people and the happy faces and the videos, I was quite impressed, and I'm glad we're going to do that again.
Thank you so much.
Can I make a final comment?
Yes.
Before you all do?
Please.
Last night at the Henry Awards at the Governor's Conference on Tourism and Outdoor Recreation, the city of Walnut Ridge won Tourism Destination of the Year. Why? The Beatles landed there in 1963 in the rain. Since that time, they've celebrated the Beatles landing there, and they won the Tourism Destination of the Year award. I can't tell you what that made me feel like. Number one, we have the most incredible events probably of any city in the state of Arkansas, and we have never won this award. And next year, by God, we're going to win it somehow. And I don't care if it's from Unicorn Run, morbidity, or whatever it takes.
Oh, golly.
We're going to pull this award in, and the way that we do that is we vote for each other. And the way we do that is to get that little bit of voting that goes out prior to the GovCon, and we take a look at it, and it goes down to the Person of the Year, Hospitality Association of the Year, to the Tourism Event of the Year, to all of these particular things. And we need to walk out of that thing next year with at least 2 awards. And I really, really feel strongly about that. So I don't care what it is.
On it, we're on a mission.
Yeah.
We are at
Yeah.
TAG channels, exactly.
So, I mean, I totally see the whole Bubba's Barbecue Banana Pudding eating contest
I mean,
That's it.
being the
Food,
city's event.
food.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I really do want a barbecue thing. This came up on Facebook last year, and it has been in my head ever since that we should have some kind of barbecue festival. I'm just saying, not volunteering anyone. But wow, how cool would that be?
We're all looking at Doug, but we're not going to tell you what to do.
And as a vegetarian, I'm voting for even more vegetarian barbecue options because I love it. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Okay, so the next matter under new business is updating absent. Yes.
A quick question, real quick. I see it says funding request 7+. We went through 6 right now. Do we miss some?
One paused.
We have one on hold.
I think one wants to wait until May.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, oh, okay. Did it?
That was in your email, Danielle. But
Yeah, it
not
was in the
our-
email, but I
it
don't
was
see
in our
it in the
email.
packet.
I bet you it was.
It was in
I
our
bet
email.
you-
It was. It's just not in here.
So what is it?
Okay,
So sorry.
Okay, so out in Eureka.
let's get it. Oh.
Welcome, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Terry Wolfenbarger. I'm here for Out in Eureka. Of course, we have diversity weekends coming up here in April and then in November. We're very excited. In April, we have a concert here Friday night. Adam Mack, who is a queer country pop singer, is bringing a 5-piece band. It's very exciting. In fact, a couple of his guys will also then be playing in the park or at the community center during our festival the next day, Saturday. We'll have our festival and vendors at the community center. We've got a new thing that we're extremely excited about, and it involves unicorns. Hey, a lot of unicorn stuff tonight. We took, actually, I want to give acknowledgement to the zombie crawl because we kind of took a inspiration from something that you all did with their zombie heads.
Oh, yeah.
We actually have, I think it's 24 small unicorn heads, mounted unicorn heads. Local artists around town are working with us and embellishing those unicorn heads to go out and be displayed at all of our top sponsors. Similar to the zombie crawl. We'll have a scan code where they can scan and enter into a drawing at these different sponsors. We're also, here's the part I'm really excited about, we're also going to be auctioning those off to support Purple Flower. So, very excited about that. Part of our goal this year is to partner with more of the other local nonprofits and try to raise our impact in the community. So I do want to mention, I did skip over this, the Adam Mack concert that we're partnering with Safe to Be, who's building their second house. So proceeds will, part of those will go to help raise the roof on their second house build. To answer some of the questions you had earlier, We capture RSVP information. We know that we are only capturing a portion of the people that are actually coming to the event, but it gives us a good sampling. So I can say, I don't have the exact figure, I want to say it's around 70% stay 2 to 4 nights for the event. It may be higher than that. Also this year, I had already been talking with David some, and we are going to, our vendors that set up at the community center Saturday, we're going to have some of them set up afterwards over at the Wanderoo and kind of satellite try some extension throughout the community. So we want to see if there's other places we can partner with that. But this will be a test run. We already have a few vendors that are excited about it.
What amount are you asking for, Terry?
5,000
5,000.
for both events.
And once again, I have to make the transparency thing here is that, you know, I'm involved with Safe to Be, and my husband's on the board, so both of these, so just so you all know.
So the date is the April, right?
The first event is in April.
3rd
Then
to the
we
5th.
have November. Pardon?
3rd to the 5th of April. Huh?
Yes, yes, sir.
And then the 2nd?
Is in November and 6th through the 8th. 6th through the 8th.
The 6th to the 8th.
Yes.
Okay. Those. So, and how much are you requesting?
5,000.
I just say I've attended diversity for the last few years, and with my dad, who is very loud about, I'm not gay, but I'm an ally. And it's just a great event. And going out, if I go to Bowser's, there's people in town buying for their dogs, striking up conversation, and just really grateful. What the sentiment is I encounter is gratitude for the existence of diversity when I meet people. And just outside, Terry and I ran into a couple here celebrating their anniversary, and it was like, hey, diversity. I just think that it has been around for so long, and I do see a lot of locals kind of joking. And I ride a motorcycle, but after Bikes Blues Barbecue, they'll say, oh, is diversity here yet? It's this breath of fresh air for a lot of people from outside of this community and inside of this community. And with that, I make a motion to approve $5,000 for Diversity Weekend.
Second.
Awesome.
Okay, Heather made a motion. Susan seconded the motion to approve $5,000 to the Out in Eureka Diversity Weekend. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Anybody else we miss?
No, now I think we're
Thank you
even
for calling
Steven
that
here.
out.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out, Robert, especially since the next matter of business is updating absent commissioners, which you brought to our attention. So,
Okay. Just to the funding request, one little reminder, you know, like next time we talk about funding request will be May 2026 for the next round, correct?
we are doing them quarterly.
Every
Yeah.
3 months. So the people who have requests, make sure you put them in on time. Okay. As you probably have noticed, I was absent personally, physically, during the last 3 months. We have the chance to take a break in the wintertime. And what I noticed is like my only way of communication, either way would be Zoom or like video or email. And I noticed that I did not have all the paperwork that I usually would probably have if I'm physically here. So I was wanting to see if we can establish a way of communication that everybody absent or physically not here has the same paperwork in front while sitting here. If there is a way that we can
Just,
make
just
sure
for
that everybody.
clarity for everybody here, because I did ask Robert for some clarity on what he was missing, and he had mentioned that he felt like he was missing the signed document once it was approved between the city and us on the odd agreement. So I think that was where he felt like he was missing documentation, because to my understanding, Danielle does send out the agendas and all of the information. Other than that, it was a one-time unfortunate situation. And I think all of us as commissioners at that time kind of got the news right away that that had been completed. It was not something we had forethought, I think, to get to you at that time. So I don't know where we take this, but to my understanding, I think we want all commissioners to have all documents in a timely fashion before every meeting. So I hope that's a non-issue going forward. Rob.
Well, I mean, like the thing is, yeah, if you have paper that is submitted during a meeting, make sure that the absent person get that information by email. Of course, if it's before the meeting, even better, but if it at least after the meeting, so everybody's documented on the same level.
Sure.
And I think that we got that in a workshop. Is that right?
That one was a sort of an unusual situation. We needed it completed in order to complete the budget, and I think it just was an odd situation. So I hope we don't have that problem again moving forward. Sorry that happened to you.
No problem.
Okay, so is that, do we feel good? I feel good about that. Moving on forward, then David, could we move into your banner special placement?
Yes, motion to discuss?
Second.
David made a motion to discuss banner special placement. Heather seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So thank you. There's some things that I wanted to bring up about our banner placements in the city. Right at the intersection of Spring and Main, we've all seen the banners. They're hung for almost every single event. There's been some issues with banner placement recently that I want to bring up. Normally, we don't get into staff the way you run the business. However, I think we're maybe setting a dangerous precedent by one of the banner placements. It's my understanding that year after year after year, Diversity Weekend, their banner is always placed at Spring and Main intersection from above. And now from what I understand, the Music Awards banner is the week after Diversity, but the banner is going up before Diversity. I personally, meaning that Diversity gets no banner placement at all. So I'm a little confused as to why that's happening, especially when Diversity Weekend brings in revenue as far as, butts in beds, heads in beds, as opposed to a local event with the Music Awards. And for transparency again, my husband sits on that board, but I'm looking at this not myopically, I'm looking at it as a whole, that I don't think that Diversity banner, I don't think that the Music Awards banner should supersede a legacy event in the city.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I missed that at the very beginning. You said that what happened was the award ceremony banner went up and there was not a Diversity
No,
banner.
so
I'm sorry.
I'm looking at the timeline, and
I see.
it looks like, I'll have to summarize this. The banner, Diversity Weekend banner would be hung over the weekend of April 3rd through 5th. Should we discuss?
Let me interject something just for a second.
Yes.
We do not control banner replacements. As a matter of fact, it's done through City Hall. Normally, in the past, it's been Kim Stryker that's done those things. And then now I think Christina Floyd is in charge of doing those things. Now, how that order comes about, I don't know that it's first come, first serve. I don't understand that. But in terms of one or the other and when it goes up, that's a good question.
In my experience, it's first come, first serve, having done several banner things. It's
kind of like this building. We don't control the city meetings that go in here. It's basically done through City Hall. I think in this case, and I certainly agree with you, David, there is a precedent there that obviously one is probably a heck of a lot more important than another, but it may have been just an anomaly. On the same token, again, we would have to probably sit down with Christina and say, okay, how did you figure that out? Because I don't know. I really don't.
I would like us to come to some kind of decision. I don't know.
I thought there already was. I thought there was a.
No, the final thing was that out in Eureka was sent back their check saying, we're not going to hang your banner.
Check.
That's where it stands now. And to me, that's, no matter who you are, that's wrong. Even if it was Jesus Weekend, we don't just send back your check and your banner and say, we're not going to hang it. That's what it feels like is happening. On January 20th, Christina informed out in Eureka that the Music Awards had requested that their banner be changed back to April 3rd through 5th, which is the same time it should be out in Eureka because their event precedes the Music Awards.
Because somebody beat us to the week that we wanted. And so the board of ESMA said, well, we need it up there for advertising and awareness. So the earliest she could get us was that weekend. But since then, she was working out a solution, and I don't want to speak for Christine. She was working out a solution that I thought she had.
Okay, I'll touch base with her. As far as I know, there is no, the solution stands that, as it stands now,
Yeah.
Diversity Weekend will not have a banner.
Let's circle around, because
So,
I think there is a solution.
Let's work, because you're on the board of ESMA, right?
Yes.
So let's try to work
Yeah.
something out.
Yeah.
And like I said, I only bring this up because Diversity Weekend puts heads in beds, which is what we're here to do, and
Totally
ESMA's
get
is
it.
primarily local stuff, which I still appreciate. However, we got to figure out which one is more important, not more important, that's the wrong
Yeah,
word.
this is a circle around with her.
Yeah, so how about you and me and Christina get on a conference call or something and try to hash this out for them? Because I don't want to see anybody's banner
I
not be
can
displayed.
catch you next week, because we're going out of town tomorrow.
We can go through that.
Okay.
And that's fine. No, we don't have a problem with that. I was not aware of that, so thank you for bringing it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds almost like we should have a second location. I mean, if we have, one exclusive location for one banner for a city who has so many events, isn't there a way that we maybe could set another flagpoles, I don't know, 20, 30 yards behind on the same Spring Street section, or?
I don't disagree. I know that the alternate suggestion was the walkway between Spring Street and the whatever building that is.
Main.
Bridge.
Yeah, the Main Street Bridge. Yeah.
There has been in the past, and I'll have to tell you the exact location because I don't know, but I think it's around Nelson's Leather across the street. There has been a second location in the past that is just a little further up Spring Street, and I don't know what the status of that is and why there haven't been banners put up there. But that has always been a good location.
I think we should look into an alternate location
where
or additional.
it stands, it could have been, but that's a Public Works thing in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Not to pass it off on anybody else, but I'd be more than happy to look into it tomorrow.
Yeah, we can certainly advocate for an alternate and additional location. I just wanted to bring that forward. It seems to be there are 3 events competing for one spot. And you've got 2 legacy events and a brand new event. So how do you balance who gets what?
Is that something we can follow up for some time later?
I don't know. Does
I
the
mean, you
CPC
think
have any
it's-
control?
I don't think they have any
control. I think that's a city issue.
It really
I
is
think
a
we can
city.
ask.
Because it involves Public Works mounting it, number one, but then they maintain that calendar of events basically because you do have to pay for that banner.
So we give that back to the city council members to keep us in the loop for that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I like the idea of having more than one location.
I mean, because just to give you an example, one of the solutions to this issue was stacking Jesus Weekend and Diversity Weekend on the same thing. The Jesus people don't want that.
Yeah, they don't.
No, I'm being honest. They will not They'll say no. I don't know what the diversity people would say, but I can't imagine they would say no because that's what diversity is all about. But we can't ask them to stack those two banners on top of each other
Well, and who
when
gets
it's a
the
conflict
top?
of their interests.
But if we have two different locations, then,
Exactly.
I mean, like, in a certain
Change 'em every
distance
8
from each other, I mean, they won't bite each other, and,
Yeah.
And then it'll
I mean,
be
we're
who
free to
gets,
be.
like, is one
We have
considered
the
more prime
fortunate
than the
ability to
other?
be able to do these things within a small town. We can talk to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a great example over the week of a giant city not being able to communicate with one department that was across town because you could never get a return call, or you couldn't go see them. We can solve these problems. It's just a matter of knowing about them.
Yeah.
And then we can walk across the street 100 yards away for 50 yards and then have a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll do.
So let me ask you this. Should I get involved with this, or should someone from out in Eureka get involved with this to go with?
Let us look at it, please.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Yeah, let's see.
Thank you, David. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and do some commissioners' comments. Let's start with you, David, since you're already reared up and ready to go.
No, I want to say thanks to the staff for attending GovCon. I was really glad. I think Danielle sent me a message that it was really different this year, which
It was
I was
great.
kind of
Good.
sad to hear because I didn't go because seems to always be the same. So I'm glad to hear that it was different. I am really concerned about the whole Airbnb thing coming back up. I just want to put it out there that, for those of us who vote and participate in the process, pay attention to who you're voting for, because it's exactly events like this that are going to expose to you the politicians who and why they're involved and what they're in it for. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Kind of same with David on the Airbnb issue. That is a big concern. And do you know where Airbnb won the case, what state
He
that
couldn't
was?
remember this.
I don't know. I mean, it's in the Northeast. I think I hesitate to say Connecticut, New York. I don't know. I can find out, however, because it's probably in the news somewhere. But Airbnb did.
You could probably Google it and find out.
Yeah,
I
I
just
think-
wonder if they're finding it successful or a holy mess
Yeah.
with, the government, because I don't see the state of Arkansas. I'd be surprised if they want to add more resources to have to manage that. So I think that's what they would have to do. I had something else. I did not
It
write
looks like it
down.
was maybe Florida. Does that sound right? Is it Florida?
Florida? I do think that
Of course, you
as
could find a
we
million
get close
different-
to voting for Eureka in the various categories for next year, Mike, we are going to win something. I promise you, we will win something. I don't know what, but I think we do need to let people know.
Yes.
I don't care if you live in Oklahoma City, you vote. That's all I have.
Yeah, I want to echo what David said. The primary is March the 3rd. My husband and I went and voted early the day it opened up. Make sure that you're doing your due diligence and your research on who you are voting for. I also just wanted to say, as we finally got to see 2025's full report, congratulations on the best year financially that the CAPC has ever had in history.
I'm going to applaud that too.
With you all at the helm. Thank you. And as Shira said, there is an open seat on the commission. Now we know that you have opinions, so come sit at the table and share those with us. Thank you all.
This being our first quarterly meeting with the funding request, I was happy to see that there are so many different events and lots of running events coming into town. I think that goes with what was apparently a big theme at the conference, which was we should focus a lot on outdoor activities, and I think Eureka has a lot of them. But yeah, I think events are kind of the cornerstone of why Eureka is one of the best tourist places around. So I encourage you to take advantage of marketing support and continue having good events.
Thank you. Robert?
Well, glad to be back and appreciate the support that I was when I was away and still able to participate in the meetings. I wanted to make sure I'm not going to miss one. And yeah, we're getting ready for spring, I guess, and I hope the weather will play along. And I mean, it was cold. I've seen the weather from far, and it was everywhere a little bit cold. I tell you, even in Florida, it was not warm like everybody thought. Like, oh, you go to a southern state. No, it's actually it was disappointing. Last year was better. Anyway, like I said, glad to be back, and we're getting ready for the new season, and looks like we're going well. If I look at the event listing, it needs a couple updates after tonight, and then we're packed already for a lot of things going on. One thing I wanted to give back to Shira for a potential workshop first. You know, the one thing is on the workshop we need to discuss the diversification of accounts. We never followed up on that from last year. And we talked about that this is something we will have in our workshop, right? David, you remember that? And another thing I'd like to put into a workshop, some of you remember maybe the arch, which Branson Old Town, Historic Town, put up. And I would like to discuss this in a workshop, what our options are, because I think this would make a big, bold entrance to the city if we would have something that really stands out. And I don't know how we approach this, but if we could, I'd like to discuss about that. Thank you.
Noted. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm sorry, you're finished, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and I want to thank all of you for accommodating and moving along with these quarterly funding request sessions that are different than the way we've done it in the past. We appreciate that and all the preparation. I also want to thank my fellow commissioners for being transparent and open in our sessions and talking to everybody with kindness and recognizing that we are the place that's free to be and respecting diversity and inclusion. I think that's an important thing right now to really hold near and dear. It's something that drives a whole lot of tourism to our community, and that really matters. I also want to say thank you so much for the GovCon experience. I'm sorry for all of you that missed it because it was phenomenal this year. I even had one of the sessions afterwards that I left feeling empowered, renewed, and inspired, and even told my mother, I quoted, that it was life-changing. There were some phenomenal speakers. It just makes you amazed. The state of Arkansas has so much beauty, so much to offer, and we're a small state in the grand scheme of things, and we band together well, and we have lots of good resources to draw on. And I also would like to remind Eurekans to come out, please, to our CAPC meetings, to our city council meetings, to get involved, to fill our open seats and positions. We are all going to succeed together. Thank you for coming. I am drained after GovCon and ready to close this fantastic full-bodied meeting. Can I hear a motion?
No, next meeting, workshop?
The next workshop will be March 11th, and that will be at 5 p.m. And I need you all to guide me on these things and tell me when I'm forgetting to say something I should be adding. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Robert. And then the meeting, the regular meeting, will be on Wednesday, the 25th at 5 p.m. Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Heather made a motion to adjourn. Robert seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion.
You got it?